What if I told you Batman Arkham Origins wasn't a part of the original Arkham trilogy? What is up, guys? Red Big Boxer here, and I'm not going to do this very often, but I have a theory, and I wanted to put it out on YouTube before anybody else took my theory. And yes, I am very festive today, and I am talking about DC when I am wearing a Marvel Deadpool sweater. So, Batman Arkham Origins was never a part of the original trilogy, because you remember Batman Arkham City, Batman Return to Arkham Asylum, and Batman Arkham Knight. So to first start out with my theory, we started with Batman Arkham Asylum, you know, a classic game where Joker busts out of Arkham Asylum and you have to beat down inmates. And then Arkham City came along. But before Arkham City came along, there was an Easter egg behind a wall. If you blew it up with explosive gel in Batman Arkham Asylum, you would find a secret room. And there were blueprints in there for Batman Arkham City. And what game came out next? Batman Arkham City. Now, after Batman Arkham City came Knight. Well, not necessarily, because technically a city, Origins, then Knight, but if you went along with the storyline, it would go Origins, Asylum, City, Knight. So I'm just going to say Knight. And guess what it said in Arkham City? Scarecrow had secret messages in his bunker saying, "I will be back and I will return and like strike fear in Gotham." What happened in Arkham Knight? He came back and attacked Gotham. And realistically, if I gave a person that never played any of the Arkham series yet, and I started with Arkham Asylum, and they played City, and they played Knight, and then I had them play Origins last, nothing in the story arc would have changed. They would have said, I would have said to them, well, how did Origins affect you? And they would have said, it didn't at all, because it didn't affect me at all. It just was another cool game that had nothing to do with the story, because nobody ever talks about Origins. There's no Easter eggs pointing to Origins. Joker doesn't say... Joker says, remember back at the Asylum, and then at night you cremate him because he dies in City. They all tie in. Nobody says, remember back then when we first met and you knocked my teeth out? Killer Croc never says that. Because they never planned on it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the creators of the game honestly just wanted 3 games in the series. They wanted Asylum, they wanted City, and they wanted Knight. And Knight was going to wrap it all up. But this is where the theory part comes in here. What I was thinking is, why did they create Origins if it had nothing to do with it? Well, maybe they needed extra money to help pay for pay for Knight, so they kind of boosted their ratings with the game. Or maybe they were falling behind on Knight and they weren't going to come out with the game on the scheduled time. Let's say they were working and complications happened with the Batmobile, and they needed more time to work on that. They come out with Origins, and boom, it fixes everything. And this is what's interesting. Batman Arkham Asylum came out in 2009. Batman Arkham City came out in 2011, and Batman Arkham Origins came out in 2013, and Batman Arkham Knight came out in 2015. What do they all have in common? 2 years span from each other. And if they would have gotten delayed, Arkham Knight would have been a 4-year span away, and it would have ruined their streak. And people weren't going to want to play it because they probably would have forgot what happened in the other previous games, and they didn't want to go back and replay the games. So they said, hey, we gotta get another game out so people will still be happy, we can make a little bit more money on it, and hey, we just make them a little bit more money, we can help give us more time to make our game. And I'm kind of glad they did do that, because Arkham Knight is amazing. And I did like Origins. Deathstroke fight was amazing. It is just an amazing game in general. Put this down. Why am I talking about this? So, give me a second. Okay, so the voice actors for Arkham City, Mark Hamill as the Joker, and Kevin Conroy as Batman. You're probably like, Red Beak, what does that even mean? Like, what did the voice actors have to do with anything? Well, have you ever noticed that Joker's voice and Batman's voice in Arkham Origins, the 2 main characters, sound different? It's because they are. You wonder why? I know I can't say this word, I'm gonna sound so stupid. Yeah, Game Theory always says it. Coincidence? I can't say the word. I think not. They probably threw that on top of... well, before I start into this, the voice actors for them are Troy Baker as Joker and Roger Craig Smith for Bats. Now, isn't that odd? So, I think that Mark Hamill couldn't do it because, you know, he's playing the role of Luke Skywalker and everything, and Kevin Conroy couldn't do it because, I don't know, he's a busy guy, alright? So what I'm thinking is, they threw the contract on them, right? And they asked them or something if they could do the voice actors. And they said, no. So then they're like, well, what do we do now? We need to make a game because we need to get it out there. And what I find interesting is that they completely, like, they didn't just scrap the game, they just went for two main characters as different voice actors. So they used Troy Baker and Roger Craig Smith. Now, Joker, he was a little harder to notice. I kind of thought it was Mark Hamill at first, but Batman, you can't replace Kevin Conroy's voice. So I instantly knew, and I was a little off about that, and I didn't know what to think about that. And then they came back with Arkham Knight, and I was expecting, not Kevin Conroy, expecting Roger Craig Smith and Troy Baker, but they didn't. It was the same people that voiced in Asylum, City, and Night. And I do think this. And all this is different. Like, in Origins, this is when he's first starting off. And everybody's looks so different, too. Like, Croc, and it's weird. And then, like, all these assassins, I mean, Croc's really the only one different, but what's weird here is, in Arkham Origins, he breaks Deathstroke's sword with his gauntlets, and he gets shot in the pecs and right in the gut. Joker seemed a lot more risky too. Like, he just shot him like that. Normal Joker would have been a little bit more hesitant, and he had that lady that he just threw her, and he blew up bombs, and he tried to kill himself, and Batman saved him, and he got all angry with Batman. He's like, you idiot, I wanted to die, why did you save me? And he starts pushing Batman all around, and it felt different to me. Everybody felt different in that game, and I always wondered why. And this theory just hit me right in the head the other day, thinking that maybe it wasn't even meant to be, and now I'm thinking that it wasn't. And back to the whole, like, gauntlet situation. Yeah, he breaks that, he gets shot. He has that thing when you, like, grapple that and then a line goes across and you can walk on it. What happened to all that in Asylum? Like, Slade came at him with a sword and cut Batman. He almost got hurt from an elevator that was falling, and he wasn't even close to it. And he had this giant hole right here, which I don't even know how that happened. So, that was weird. Exactly, and he didn't have that thing there, and then when he goes across there, and then he can walk across it, you know how helpful that would have been? He doesn't have that, because it doesn't make sense. Why would you go back in time when you could just move forward in time? Because they either A, needed money, or B, they needed more time in Arkham Knight. And honestly, I feel like it wasn't even needed. Like, I can go back and play the game, woohoo, it was a good game, because it had all these good characters in it. It just didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And I don't know, maybe this is just a theory, remember this. But these are all my facts and evidence with all the people and the games tying in and the Easter eggs and just everything goes along with it. I just think Arkham Origins was just the odd one out. But hey,
that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.